What's up, Silas here. For those of you who've been on this channel for a while, following some of my videos, you may know one of the things I dislike is inconsistency. I just like some actual level of consistency, even though I don't release videos that consistently. But that's something I'd like to have in my life, at least certain ways I think about certain things. I like applying it consistently across the board. So like and subscribe if you haven't, and share this video after if you like what I say in it. But yeah, so this is the thing. I was reading this article. It's about a certain basketball star, his sister, and her female friend apparently allegedly jumped some 84-year-old, I think Muslim woman from the name she had there, Arab or something, in a casino. And this woman is 6'2", 302 pounds. I went and checked the picture. She looked like she has some tufts, some beards and stuff. So that goes into the genetics and stuff where it's like, okay, you see some families and it's like, okay, the Manning family, both happen to be quarterbacks in the National Football League. Certain basketball players, I think it was like Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter, they were cousins and they used to play each other growing up. Okay, so I recorded this video some time back. The incident that sparked this did happen some time back, and as I was laughing at the start of the video, it wasn't that consistent with actually posting videos, but getting back to getting stuff out. There's no actual proof online that I found that they actually played as kids. This is just something that people said, some urban legend type of thing. How many things do you think you believe or know about certain things that you haven't checked from back in the day? Take some time. But your boy Silas is trying to improve the content on this channel, so while I was checking, I found out that, yeah, distant cousins, no actual proof. But one cool thing I did find out when Vince Carter was playing on the Toronto Raptors with Del Curry, who's the father of Steph Curry, who's currently one of the best basketball players in the world, used to play him one-on-one. Like, just pick up games with him. So even having that kind of genetic thing, get back that corny picture of the Mannings on here. And that you have Archie Manning, Eli Manning in the front and Peyton Manning in the middle. A bit corny, but they're successful with this kind of look. But that's also there with the nature versus nurture thing I'm talking about here. And you have Seth Curry, who's Steph Curry's brother. He's also in the NBA. He's played for the Portland Trail Blazers. And I don't know if he was playing people, but that genetic aspect is there. Getting back into the video. Okay, I didn't intend to lie, but we'll just take one more thing. It would be criminal if I didn't mention this. And I'm not talking about the absurdly cute child of Steph Curry. I'm talking about the mother of that child, Ayesha Curry, and not the thing you might think it is with her talking about some other thing that was some controversy. There's some memes that I'm going to post, probably some at the end of this video, and a link below to a blog post with them where she's doing her cooking show, and just the savagery of those memes. There's a bunch of them. They're hilarious. Check them out. Back to the video. And I think that's some things that definitely go in the genes of a family, and they have certain things. Whereas there's some things that are genetically about certain people that lead them to be better at sports and certain activities, like the National Football League's predominantly black, because there are some black genetics that are just more predisposed to having that kind of explosive energy. I know I have certain genetics where the amount that I lift, I've been lifting this way since I was like 16, but when I started lifting at 16, I was already ahead of a lot of people who've been lifting for 16 years. Never taken supplements, never done these things, so I know that's in there. If I was to the point where I get really pissed and I used my strength in a certain way, it would be a lot more harmful than if some 5 foot tall, 105-pound Asian woman who doesn't know some kind of martial arts and stuff like that. And also might be some genetic aspect of why they're better at martial arts or why they developed martial arts in Asia, Japan, China, that area. One of my friends was trying to tell me where it actually started. But anyway, so I tried to say, why hasn't that been developed there? Why was that developed there, but it wasn't developed in a place like Africa? That could have to do with IQ. That could have to do with a lot of things that go into that. So I do understand there are certain genetic aspects of why are certain people better at certain things. Why is it a specific tribe here in Nairobi, Kenya? Not Nairobi, Kenya, in Kenya. The Kalenjin tribe. So the Kalenjin tribe, it's a tribe out of the 40 or something tribes in Kenya, and they have majority of those long distance runners come from that tribe. When you look at sports like rugby, majority of those players come from my tribe and the tribe next to it in Western Kenya, the Luya tribe and the Luo tribe. So there's certain bodies, certain physicality, certain things that come with that I think are accepted. I accept and other people accept. But when it comes to violence and crime in the United States of America, I see this thing where somebody was commenting. I like checking out the comment sections in these things. Somebody was commenting and saying, "Oh well, this happens all the time. This happens every day, and it wouldn't have gotten any news coverage if this wasn't an NBA sister. And you know why? You know why? Wink, wink. You know why?" And then other people are like, "Yeah, interracial violence is just this terrible thing with interracial violence that people don't want to cover." I get that. I get that a lot of situations you have people who are non-white attacking white people. You look at the figures. But it's a predominantly white country. What would you expect? I think a bigger thing is the amount of people in jail coming from single mother households. That goes across the board, whether they're white, whether they're Asian, whether they're black, whether they're immigrant, whether they're non-immigrant, whether they're Native American, whether they're naturalized American, all these things. Single motherhood is a much bigger thing than it comes to the racial thing. If it's a situation where somebody's like, "Oh, this job has mostly white people," people say that's not because of racism. It's a predominantly white country, so of course you're going to have more white people in this field. And I agree, that happens. So you have a situation where there's a small minority of people in the country across all races and groups that are violent. If they happen to be violent in general, chances are they will be more violent to the biggest percentage of people in that country, which is white people. Because when you come down to it, you can say there's that interracial violence where, yes, a lot more black Americans attack white Americans percentage-wise than you have the number of white Americans attacking black Americans. But then again, black Americans are 14% of the population. White Americans, I think, are still about 45 or 50%. I think it's still a majority. Yeah, it's still a majority. Actually, it's about 60%, I think. I could be wrong with that. But anyway, so if a violent person is going out there and is like, "I'm going to rob someone at this time," chances are it's going to higher than not. Even if you just close your eyes and just say, "I'm just going to point and rob whoever I look at," chances are it's going to be a white person. It's a predominantly white country. So that happens. And also there are things with the wealth situation where it gets to a point where there's fewer actual, black people who are able to be targets of these things. But then when you go into the situation, you can probably still find that there's still a lot of black people who are attacked more by those black violent people than the white people. So anyway, that's just something I noticed, and I just wanted to make this quick video about it. Like, share, and subscribe. Merchandise store below. You can help me out that way. And let me know if you guys have noticed this as well. This whole not carrying it through with the whole predominantly white country not being applied to the violent situation.